So what happened? What were you doing?
Well, actually, the creek was behind a hotel that I was in.
Okay.
And I walked back to the creek, and I walked up on a bridge that was above the creek.
Yeah.
And I just looked down in the water by the bank, and I saw it there. And I picked it up and took it back to the room, and we just kept it.
And I said to Matt, how does something like that end up in the creek? And you said you've seen divorces end badly, and sometimes if...
She likes this item, so I'm going to pitch it. I've seen that. Who knows?
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so what do we got?
Well, when we talk about religious symbols, whether Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, whatever, we refer to that as iconography. For example, in the West, Saint Barbara is always pictured with a sword because she was beheaded with a sword. Saint Sebastian with arrows, and so forth. Hindu mythology is no different. Usually the god Shiva, Lord Shiva, is pictured with Nandi the bull.
Okay.
Also with a peacock. So I would guess Shiva rather than Lord Krishna. There are, of course, many gods in the Hindu pantheon. It's a really nice piece cast of bronze, exceptional detail. Not an art quality piece, not antiquity quality. This piece is mid-20th century, probably brought over by a wealthy tourist. It's still a very nice bronze, and it has a lot of decorative merit. $200 to $250 on the open market.
You did well.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Cool.
Thanks for bringing it in. We appreciate you. And then we're going to go this direction?
The painting.
Okay, so thanks you very much. And you brought the painting for us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it has been in our family for years, and I think it started with my grandmother, then my mother, and then I've got it.
So you can remember seeing it up on the wall for a while.
Yeah, for a long time, and just kind of wondering what it's all about.
Cool. Well, I had to do a little research, a little footwork on this. I had to make a call to a colleague in the Pacific Northwest. I found out that the artist was, in fact, Canadian, from the city of Vancouver, that he opened an art studio, J.J. Troughton. He opened an art studio there in the 1880s. He didn't do a lot of commission work. Most of his were decorative scenes like Mount Rainier and what have you in the area. And I would say this is likely Rainier. And you've got to remember the border was very porous with Canada at the time, so artists would travel back and forth across the border. This piece is dated 1911. Now this is an example of regional art, something that's going to sell better in Canada than it would in Oklahoma.
Yes.
Here, about $300 to $350. In the Pacific Northwest, maybe $450, $500.
So it makes a difference,
yeah,
really.
It does make a difference, absolutely.
Well, it's still worth having. It's a beautiful picture. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. And you brought this beautiful jewelry because a man you love gave it to you?
He did. Yes.
Tell me.
He bought this for me for my birthday about 50 years ago from a lady who came by the fire station where he was working selling Navajo jewelry.
Here in Oklahoma?
Here in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And so he bought that for me.
Okay.
Cool. It's a very pretty squash blossom. It's a type of necklace we call a squash blossom. Probably a lot of Oklahomans remember them during the oil boom of the 80s, back before the fall of Penn Square Bank, when every woman had her concho belt and her prairie skirt and her squash blossoms. They were very much in vogue, and this state was rich in oil money. Good news, bad news. 30, 35, 40 years ago, the piece would have brought $800 to $1,200. The market's really down right now on Navajo jewelry of this type. There's some relative mass production, some handwork in the piece. The turquoise is of medium quality. Today on the open market, you might be talking $350 to $450. Very nice necklace, though.
How can you tell when you look at turquoise what grade it is, and even if it's real?
Well, there is some composite turquoise and resin turquoise. There's some that's been heat treated or dyed. You have to actually look at that. Testing it against the tooth, you know, turquoise is very cold to the touch. Plastic is going to be room temperature, for example.
Really?
We can also do a hot needle test to determine plastic or resin from stone. There are all kinds of different turquoise. There's one type that's actually ground and mixed with resin and then recast, a type of composite resin. So we have to look for all of that when we look at a piece.
So hers is real.
Hers is real.
Of medium quality.
Of medium quality.
But see, it's a beautiful piece that means a lot to you.
It does.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it in. And thank you for coming.
You bet.
Now, if you'd like more information on a professional appraisal or estate sales service, you can reach Matt at EdmondEstateSales.com or NormanEstateSales.com. And, of course, we'd love to have you join us next week for Trash or Treasure. Give us a call, 478-6322, and leave a message. You can also contact us through Facebook if that's easier for you.